HICGI news agents on the sidelines of the 19th Non-Aligned Movement Summit in Kampala. We are joined by a special guest from Arbai TV, based in Turkey from South Africa. And welcome, sir.
Welcome.
How is Uganda?
Very nice. Very calm country.
Okay, tell us about yourself.
My name is Dawood Ali. I'm a journalist and documentary filmmaker. I'm the reporter of Al Arabi TV in South Africa.
Thank you so much. South Africa has been instrumental in trying to set a new dawn in the Middle East. The Gaza conflict that began on 7th October when Palestinian Hamas attacked Israel, and in retaliation, Israel also attacked Gaza, and many Palestinians have been killed, innocent women and children. And South Africa has taken Israel to the International Court of Justice. Is that a justifiable attempt?
I think we have to go a little deep to think about and to discover what is the roots of this conflict in the Middle East. It's not start in 7 of October, last 7 of October, but it starts since 75 years ago, maybe more than this time, to 1917 with the Balfour Declaration. And from this date, Palestine were occupied by the British and after that by the Israeli state. What South Africa is do is to there is two things, two sections. The first one is to stop the apartheid or to stop the genocide which against the Palestinian in Gaza Strip. The second thing is, and this the first one is must be finished within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because it's they would like to accelerate the decision to stop the genocide in Gaza. The second thing, it could be take between 1 to 2 years to make the last decision. And one of the main part of this is to bring the peace to the Middle East.
Benjamin Netanyahu is saying you attacked us, and then we're also defending ourselves. And United Nations Secretary General is also using strong remarks. Also, he looks like he's also being intimidated. Is there hope that the United Nations can also have an everlasting solution to the conflict there?
I think it is not accurate that the United Nations can find a solution for the conflict because of the veto of the United States. There is a full support from the United States to Israel. And this is the first time since 75 years ago that we can find the justice for the Palestinian people, and we take Israel to the international justice.
And will there be justice?
Yes, I think so, because this is the court ICJ is an independent, and it is remarkable and respectable of justice, and this is the only organization from the five organizations of the UN is independent in the because it's the only organization outside the USA.
Okay. Why is South Africa so instrumental to other countries?
It's an ethically rule because South Africa has a very strong history of struggling against apartheid, and the same regime, the same activities, the same things happened in South Africa is the same in Palestine. And here there is a military struggle and guerrilla struggle, and here are the same. Here they try to make equality and to work in peace and struggling in peace but the apartheid regime is rejects this. So they are going to use the military styles, and the same in Gaza and Palestine.
In the case of when Libya was being attacked, they wanted the United Nations, and they sought a no-fly zone, and all countries were supported. Well, Russia and China was quite about that. But do you think if there is any decision that requires military intervention to stop Israel, will be effective?
I think Israel is a rough state, or what I can say, it's it's Israel is refuse and rejects all the international decisions.
So it has a special status.
Yes, yes, but this is the first time we find that Israel are in the right place to get the justice.
Okay, Donald Trump is saying that if he's elected, he can stop the war. Uh, um, he can maybe he can do something about it. Do you think we can still have hope in Donald Trump?
I think there is no difference, big difference between Donald Trump and the other. And the two parts are the same.
Listen.
No differences. Don't distinguish differences between the two parts. This is working in a very smooth, very calm working, and the other with propaganda. Yeah.
All right. Moving away from Israel conflict, we are at the 19th session of the Non-Allied Movement, and indeed, 120 countries were member states are having interests or political interests, economic interests. So, what are those special things that they cannot get from United Nations that probably they can have in NAM?
Yeah, look, NAM could be one of the strongest organization in the world, but it's looks like it's without power, without its inside organizational pieces to enforce its decisions. It's just like in Arabic, it's called muntada. It's like a club. We are speak,
Club.
we are exchange our views, points, or we are try to find opportunities in economics, in socials, in something like this. But for a decision, a political decision, it is not now. It's need to reinvent itself after this whole history or age of the organization since maybe 1963 from Bandung Declaration. The NAM need to rediscover itself and to development and to look for the future. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. In that case, who should be what could be that catalyst that can allow such a rebranding, a reborn of NAM? Because we're seeing UN itself has Security Council.
Yeah.
When it passes resolutions,
Yeah.
they're binding, and it has the General Assembly, and of course, this when they speak, at least there's a voice. So, what is that thing that lacks that NAM has to do?
Yeah, look, now we have three summits in the same place with the same presidency. The NAM, the the North Africa summit, the 77 plus China. What's the difference between the third? The same countries here is the same countries here, but we don't have the power, the enforcement to bring the values to the decisions to the ground. We don't have this. It looks like the police. It looks like
Yes.
the army, who are enforce uh, everything to come into the ground. But here, nothing. Nothing like this. It's the same like the UN, but UN is it's a limit because
Mm.
of the UN Council. for the UN Council. Yeah.
Okay, so is it about the funding that maybe member states have to put or have a standby army that needs to be put in place? What exactly should NAM do?
Uh, it should reorganize and revise its history and its work, and to put some power inside. For example, it's need court. For
God.
example, it's need to be there as secretary, and to be there is a lot of commits to admin everything. It is like forum. It's not an organization, it's a forum, it's a movement.
Yes.
We need to change from movement to be an organization. It's done or do its rule in 16s, 17s, 18s, but now we are in 20s.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to inertia to put power, to put new blood inside, to speak with thinkers, to make something like brainstorms, who we are, what we are in now, and what is the future, what we want from the future.
Okay. The President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of Uganda is taking over from Azerbaijan. What are these things that you'd like President Museveni to address or do during the 3 years as his chairman of NAM?
I think Africa is need to make more focus, because Africa is one of the main conflict place in next years between United States and Europe from the side, and from the other side Russia and China,
Okay.
and we need to focus on this category.
But it looks like Africa is being wanted by superpowers. I
Yeah,
mean, United States wants to is deploying its military bases, and of course, aid. And China is also taking over the trade, and Russia has interest. Turkey has interest. We're seeing Iran also has
yeah.
interest. So it's like Africa is just there to be eaten, like it was in 1818 when the war.
Yeah.
So how can Africa have be independent now?
Look, Africa is a very important uh, area in the world, because it's near 52 countries, and this is a big block in the international places like UN. It's near a quarter of the United Nations countries. There is a lot of raw material inside. There is a lot of youth. Europe is now getting elder. For
Uh,
example, country like Germany, they need 600,000 new people every year, workers. Japan the same. Look to Canada, it's 35 million. How much long Canada
it's
is?
like a continent.
Yes, look to Russia, 70.5 million kilometers square. But how many people inside? It's 130. So we have a big opportunity for from here in Africa, and it is the black gold, not the petrol, but from the people, from the youth. This is the future of the world. South Africa. There is water, there is people, there is raw material, a lot of things inside South Africa, in Africa in general.
So the youth, you've given them a brand name that it's like gold of its a capital. But how prepared are the youth of Africa to take over?
Look, it's need independent uh, experiments and development, education. We need to take care of education, of discover ourselves. We have more than 52 countries you will find in South Africa, not like North Africa. You will find Arabs, you will find Arab South, North Africa, not like the West Africa. There is a variety of culture, of people, of religions, and in Africa we don't have a problem with ourselves. For example, we don't have a problems with China, with Japanese, with Russia, with Arabs. We didn't have a conflict with this. Historically, we have the problems with the West. They come and slave us, and they come and they stolen our properties and our raw materials, and they look to us as a market to their products. And now we need to rethinking in ourselves who we are, what we want, what's the problem with us, how we become make a progress to the future. We have to. The first thing is education.
Education.
Education, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the mindset change is
Mindset.
important. When you look at a country like Democratic Republic of Congo, it's looked at as one of the wealthiest countries of the world because we've been talking about minerals, but the poorest. Why is Congo failed to settle? Why is wars and suffering in Congo every single time?
As I told you, the education. The second is the corruption. The third is that we need the what I can say, the experiments of development. We need experiments of independent development. It could be start with individuals, people, group of 5 or 6 people start to make an education, engineering, re-engineering our heads. It's everything is come from here, and with clear, it's in Arabic called niya, from our inside intention. I would like to serve my country. I would like to serve my community. It starts very, very, very simple. Everything must start simple. Everything must start individually, by myself, by my family, by my group. Uh, the people must join and to practice their rights in politics, and they defeat, yani, going to fighting in peace and in civil movement to get their rights.
Mr. R. David Passer. It's been a pleasure
Thank
to
you.
talk to you here at the HICGI News Agency.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
We
you very
wish you
much.
well.
Thank you very much.
Mm.